So back in the day, it actually used to be very, very dangerous to have all the right answers, to be a know-it-all. And in fact, they used to use guillotines to decapitate people. So if you can imagine a big stage like this in the village, and all the village people show up, not the YMCA village people, but you know what I mean. And there's a big guillotine machine right here, and the executioner has this axe, and he cuts the rope, and the guillotine comes down and chops off the head. Well, one morning, there's an attorney, a doctor, and an engineer all waiting for their day to come to an end, death by guillotine. So first up is the attorney, a very arrogant guy, standing there very proud, looking at everybody in the audience, and the executioner asks him, he says, blindfold on or blindfold off? Proudly, he says, blindfold off. He says, head up or head down? Proudly, he says, head up. So they lock him in the guillotine like this, right? He's facing everybody in the crowd. Executioner swings the axe, cuts the rope, guillotine comes down, boom! And he gets stuck 1 inch away from cutting his head off. And the attorney's like, oh, thank goodness. And then he remembered, because he's an attorney, he read the rule book. He says, on page 4, paragraph 2, it says if there's a malfunction in the guillotine, that the accused gets to run free. Sure enough, the executioner opens up the rule book, and he's, oh, by golly, you're right, off you go. Next up is the doctor. Doctor says the same thing, blindfold off, head up. So you lock him in the guillotine like this. He's facing everybody. Executioner swings the axe, cuts the rope, guillotine comes down, boom! And he gets stuck again, 1 inch away from cutting his head off. And the doctor's like, oh, thank goodness, rules are rules. You got to let me go too. And so off goes the doctor. Next up is the engineer. Engineer says the same thing, very proud. Blindfold off, head up. So you lock him in the guillotine like this, and the engineer's just kind of looking around. Executioner is in his backswing like this, and all of a sudden, the engineer looks over. He says, hey, wait. I think I see the problem. Moral of the story is, don't be an engineer. That's correct. Moral of the story is, don't be a know-it-all. All right? So let's have some fun.